Hey, hey, y'all. Happy New Year. It's Monday. No, it's Wednesday. Trying to get back, y'all. Trying to get back to the swing of things. It's Wednesday. It's 12 noon. It's Mom's Mentoring Circle. And I'm here, Deborah Porter, your life coach for moms. And I'm super excited to be back. The holidays were amazing. I hope yours were as well. So I just want to pop back in and kind of get back into the flow of things. I got some things brewing, got some things going on that I want to share with you, that I want to invite you to participate in, and really want to get this new year, new decade started on the right footing. So, you know me, I'm not going to sit around and say we're going to wait for people to join in. We ain't doing all that. That's what replay's for. We're just going to go ahead and get started. But what I am going to do, playing with some new toys, I'm going to get on here and just make sure that you can hear me, that I'm on, and that I really am live and I'm not just talking to myself. So, how's everybody's holiday? Kind of pop in and let me know how your holidays were. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're on. Excited to be back. The holidays were amazing. I hope you. So we're good. We're on. We're all good. All right. So today, I want to say Happy New Year. I want to say Happy Daniel Fast. Happy Cleanse. You know, it's January, so we're doing something new, something fresh, which is always exciting, always great. Everybody's doing something, whether it's, decluttering or dieting, purging, joining a new gym. We've got all these great new things going on. And let me just remind you, moms, right here, look at me, listen. Right now is a great time to replenish your child's school supplies. Right? I know we got all kinds of new stuff going on, all kind of ideas of what we want to do and what we're going to be doing. Hey, Rochelle. But this is a good point right here in January to replenish your child's school supplies. Let me just throw that out there. Okay. So back to all the new fun stuff we're doing. We're setting resolutions. We're doing all kinds of things. And those are great. Awesome. I've done or am doing some version of that myself right now. So my husband's on a vegetarian kind of a situation right now until the end of the month. I'm not that. I'm a flexitarian. I just heard that's an actual term where you eat meat occasionally. So I'm a flexitarian, but he's doing this vegetarian thing. I'm not quite going that far. But with all the new that's going on, right? With all the resolution setting, all the vision boards, the cutting, the pasting, all of that, why is it that we get to February, March, April, and the excitement dies down and we're not kind of as into it as we were when we first started? It's happened to me before as well. And, so finally one year I just decided, what the heck is going on? I got to figure this out. I got to figure out what's going on. So this is what I did. I took a sheet of paper. I wrote at the top of the sheet of paper everything that I had set out to do for that year, everything, whether it was personally, from my family, from my home, whatever it was. I wrote all of that stuff at the top of the paper. I drew a line down the middle of the paper. And on one side, I put the things that I was still doing. And on the other side, I put the stuff that I wasn't doing any longer, that I had set out to do at the first part of the year. And then I had to really figure out, why am I not doing this stuff on this side of the paper anymore? What is it? And I had to realize a couple things. One, the excitement of doing something new is not enough to sustain it. It's enough to get started. It's enough to go out and buy all the decluttering stuff. It's enough to join the gym. The excitement is enough to get me to join. The excitement is enough to really get me up and out. But that is not enough to sustain me through the year to still have the same kind of passion and excitement to get that thing done. And so what I discovered about myself and for myself, and I think a lot of y'all are very similar in this way, if I don't have an action plan on how the things on that vision board are going to be carried out, of how and when I'm going to the gym, of what my decluttering schedule is, if there is not a how-to action plan in place, it's really just a great idea. It's not enough for me to just have the vision board and visualize myself, with some of those things or in some of those situations. For me, the question then becomes, well, what's the plan? What's the plan? it's not going to just jump off the board because I'm looking at it. What's the plan? And so I really want to talk today a little bit about how to create an action plan, whether it's around a vision board, whether it's around a new goal, whether it's around a resolution. But the idea here is that 2020 is going to be the year of the successes of these goals that we've set, not just the making of the goal, but the actual success of the accomplishment of the goal. So, I've had vision boards, and I'm not against vision boards. In fact, I'm thinking about having a vision board party. I'm thinking about doing it virtually. So some of y'all can attend as well. I don't know. We'll talk about that maybe in a couple weeks. But my vision board, after a while, just became another thing on the wall. It just became the thing that I passed by every day. It was no longer stirring the excitement in me to accomplish those things. And so I want to talk about 5 things to put in place to create an effective action plan. And none of these are deep. Like, none of this is super serious. None of this is difficult. And this can really literally be put on your phone. It's that simple that you can actually put it just right on your phone. That's what, look, we don't go anywhere without these things. So there's no sense in having a list on a piece of paper laying around the house somewhere, because then when you're out, you can't get to it. You don't remember. And if you're going to do that, if you are a pen and paper girl and you have to, write yourself, what am I reading? You like to write the stuff down. And here's what I would say. Write it down, take a picture of it, so you will have it on your phone. Okay? So 5 things to make an effective action plan to accompany or complement your vision board, your resolutions, your goals, whatever that is. The first thing is, and I love this, and I learned this from my coach, Mia Redrick, work with the end in mind. So you want to start backwards, right? You want to start with the result, right? So the result for me is I want to be stronger. I want to be healthier. I'd love to lose some weight. That would be awesome. Okay, so start with the end in mind. What are some of the things that I need to have in place to get that result? Well, I've got to get up and go to the gym at least 3 days a week. So on my phone, on my calendar, I have my schedule of when I'm at the gym, when I'm meeting with a trainer. That's another tip. I need a trainer. I need to know that somebody is sitting there waiting for me, that I have paid somebody, because I can talk myself out of going to the gym before my feet even hit the floor. So for me, I need a trainer. I need it scheduled. I need it written down. I need to be expected to be somewhere. The other thing is my grocery list, right? I've got to have a grocery list of what I'm buying, and I've got to have really a list of what I'm not buying. Because here's the deal. I don't know, Cliff is like this, but who are these people that can eat one Oreo cookie, right? Cliff can take like 2 bites of a piece of pie, and that satisfies his sweet tooth. I cannot do that. I cannot take a cookie out of a sleeve and eat a cookie. Shell, I cannot eat one Tate's cookie. I don't, those people that can do that are unicorns. If I'm going to eat some cookies, like, me and that bag of cookies are going to have an evening together. So there are certain things that if I don't buy them, I can't eat them. Shell says, yes, indeed. I love my trainer. Now that food thing, girl. So there are certain things that I just don't buy, because if it's not in the house, I can't eat it. And then the kids come to visit and they're like, where's the food? Like, why are there no snacks? Like, where's the food? Shell says, not me, all or nothing. Hey, I'm your girl, Shell. That's why we're sisters. That's why. All right. So this is the first part of the action plan. Start with the end in mind and begin to put the things in place that will get you to that result, to get you to that goal. Number 2 is write down what actions are required, right? If you're decluttering a closet, what is required in decluttering that closet? What do you need? You need some trash bags. You need a bin for donation. You may need another person there, because we get really attached to our stuff when it's time to get rid of it. So you may need another person there. My daughter, my sister-in-law, I have very loving people in my life that will say, that's going in the trash. You're not even going to donate that. Like, that's over. The life of that thing. Tate's is the devil. Girl, oh my gosh, Tate's cookies. I'm not trying to tempt anybody, but if y'all have not had Tate's cookies and you deserve a treat, yeah. I need to call them. Look, I'm giving them free advertisement. I need some affiliate situation there. So write down what actions are required for this action item to be accomplished, right? So first we have work backwards, work with the end in mind, write down what's required. 3, put your actions into a schedule. For me, this is everything. If it's not on my calendar, if it's not written down, it's not going to happen. I may have the best intentions in the world. I may be motivated out the wahoo. But if it's not down on the schedule, if it's not in some form of a schedule, it's not going to happen. And so what that can look like if you want to declutter. So for me, I would, Monday through Friday, I would take 15 minutes out of each day to declutter an area or spend 15 minutes in that area, whether it was a drawer. And I'm going to stop calling my drawer a junk drawer. I saw this on Tamron Hall yesterday. Don't call it a junk drawer, call it a utility drawer. Because if you continue to call it a junk drawer, you're basically saying, yeah, that's what this is always going to be. So my utility drawer, I have, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I think we think of some of these tasks as being so overwhelming that it's difficult or challenging to kind of take bite-sized pieces of them. But don't overwhelm yourself, because what happens is then sometimes we get kind of stuck or frozen and we don't get it done. So start with the end in mind, work backwards. What actions are required and write those down. Put your actions into a schedule. And I suggest on your phone, because this is what's with you all the time. Number 4 is follow through. Follow through. Do the darn thing. Just what do you have to lose, right? So you're supposed to be at the gym at 9 o'clock. You're running a little late. Go. Don't just talk yourself out of it because you're running late. Right, so you meant to spend a few minutes cleaning out the drawer, one of the drawers in the kitchen, or a few minutes kind of going through a closet, but you didn't get to it Tuesday and it was on the calendar for Tuesday. Move it to Wednesday. It's not that serious. Just do it. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie's in the house. How you doing, Stephanie? Rochelle says, I love this. I keep things in my head. I have to schedule my life as if I'm working outside of my home. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we mean well. Right, we mean well. We say, well, I'll get to it. And then it's Friday, and it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't get to it. So write it down, make it plain, have it before you, in front of you. I even set alerts on my phone, because sometimes I'll write it on my schedule or my calendar and I still forget it. So I will set an alert for something that needs to be done, so I'll get pinged for it. So Stephanie, we're talking about how to make those wonderful vision boards and resolutions and goals into an actual action plan to actually get some stuff done, as opposed to it just being this great January event that we do. Stephanie says, I always use my phone for my schedule. Hi, Deb. Yes, I do too. I mean, why not? We use it for everything else. We use it for everything else. And I want to clue y'all into something at the end of this that is going to help with that even more. It's like going to take it up a whole nother level. Okay, so the 5 points about creating an action plan to complement our vision boards, our goals, our resolutions. Work backwards, start with the end in mind, and put the steps in backwards. I learned that from my coach, Mia Redrick. Number 2 is write down what actions are needed or necessary. Number 3 is put your actions into a schedule. That is key. That's really key. Number 4 is follow through. And number 5 is hire a mentor, or find a mentor, or get with somebody that is just slightly ahead of where you are with a reasonable level of success in that thing, and get with that person. Be able to give them permission to speak into your life, to hold you accountable. I think a lot of times we want to use our girlfriends for that, which is fun for a minute. I have some amazing girlfriends. They are inspiring, they are encouraging, but I don't want our relationship to have to now be you holding me accountable and me having an attitude with you because you're doing that. Right? I just want us to be girlfriends. I don't want that extra layer or that extra pressure to be on you as my girlfriend. Here and there is fine, but what I'm talking about is an actual person who you've watched, or or you've talked to, or you've witnessed their life, and you're like, I need some of that in my world. I need some of whatever she has going on over there in my world, because I'm not sure what's happening right now. So I want you to think about who that is, what that is, research it, find that person, and be able to yoke up to be able to get some successes. Because for me, I just got really tired of every new year there just being these empty vision boards and resolutions, and it's February and it's Valentine's Day, and I'm sitting here eating a box of chocolate like, what happened? What happened? It was all going to be so wonderful. Why am I here? Hey, Tam. How you doing, Tam? So this is, Tam, we're just talking about how to create an action plan to accompany and complement the vision board, the resolutions, the Daniel fast, the cleanse, the gym membership, whatever it is, the new thing that you're wanting to do this year at the start of this new decade. For many of us, the reason why February or Valentine's Day gets here, and if you're like me, you're sitting on the couch eating a box of chocolates, is because there was no action plan put in place. There was no how-to. There was just this wonderful, colorful, wonderfully pasted and glued together vision board sitting on my wall, but I had no how-to of how to get that stuff off of that board and into my life. So again, I'm just going to really quickly say those 5 points are: work backwards, start with the end in mind and fill it in that way. Write down what actions are required. Put your actions into a schedule and onto your calendar with some alerts. A ding or a ping here and there can make a big difference. Follow through. Number 4 is follow through. And follow through doesn't mean perfection. You know I'm not into the whole perfection thing. Follow through means when you mess up, follow through now. When you forgot, pick it up and follow through now. Doesn't matter. You're supposed to do Monday, it's Wednesday. Okay, so now I'm gonna do it on Wednesday. Follow through. And number 5 is hire or get with a mentor, a coach, someone that you've seen the fruit in their life. You know that what they got going on, you need some of that, and you're not quite sure how to get it. And don't put that burden on your girlfriends. Don't do that. That's not fair. And here's the other thing. It's a cheap way of trying to get a real result, right? Don't try to leverage that friendship and say, oh, she can hold me accountable. She don't want to do that every week. She wants to come eat cookies with you. She don't want to be the one telling you don't eat them. She wants them too. Don't do that. So, and listen, I'm not against any of these great ways to set new goals in the new year. I am, for myself, slightly against this whole resolution thing, because I feel like just the very nature of it lends itself to it being temporary. And I got too much stuff in my life that needs real change, that it can't be a resolution thing. It has to be a new way of doing things. Tam says, hey, sis, for me, I have to have accountability. I have to tell somebody. Bingo, Tammy. I'm so with you on that. I'm so with you on that. But I'm going to tell you something. It took me a while to get there. It really did, because, for me, I've always had this issue with being vulnerable. Part of it goes back to my childhood. Part of it goes back to disappointments, being let down as a child, really expecting adults and certain people to show up in a certain way and they don't. And so as a child, you very quickly learn, I got to figure this out for myself. I don't have anybody really to do that with. I don't have anybody to really share that kind of stuff with. So I had to figure out, how do I share my vulnerabilities, my issues with people? And the first thing I really had to determine was they had to be worthy of me sharing, right? So I don't share with everybody. So I love that you say, Tammy, that I have to tell somebody, but she didn't say I have to tell everybody. Okay, that's not what we're doing. We're not telling everybody, because you don't need everybody's input, but there is a somebody. You do have to find the somebody that you can confide in, that you can talk to, that you can tell. So I just want to ask, how many vision boards over the years have y'all made? Or how many resolutions over the years have we made? Or how many lines in the sand have we drawn and say, this is it? This year is going to be different. This year, I'm going to make it happen. This year, I'm going to read through the Bible in a year. This year, I'm going to do the Daniel fast all the way through. Look, I'm just being honest. I'm being transparent. I'm just sharing the things that I've, had a stake in the ground on. This year, it's going to be this. This year, I'm going to be back into my skinny jeans. Look, I could go on and on, y'all. I've been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt, sent the postcard, done it. But I got to a place where I realized that is not enough. That's not enough. If I don't have some things in place on the how. Hello, Annette. How are you? From across the pond. How you doing? Tammy says, I live really well in my head. Right? Tammy, right. Life is wonderful up in here. I am a size 6 up there. I am like, it's just amazing in my head. But what I've learned over the years is the vision board, the idea, setting the intention, the resolution, the gym membership, all of that is great. I'm not knocking any of it. But what I am saying is, what's your action plan to make it happen? What's on your schedule? How many days do you have on your calendar when you're going to the gym and what time? And what accountability partner or trainer is there waiting for you? What is the plan for the Daniel class? Have you brought the food? Did you make sure you cleared out everything else? Do you have the food that you need for it? So that's what we're talking about. And the thing that changed for me, there were 3 things that in any area of my life where I've needed change, in any area of my life, I had to do 3 things. I had to change my mind. I had to get a mentor or coach, and I had to get in community with people who were like-minded. If those 3 things are not in place in any real way, the change that I wanted or expected in my life was not sustained. Tammy says, I like what you said about put the accountability on a mentor, not your girlfriend. Stephanie says, me too, Tammy. So what are you here's the thing. We got to get serious about some stuff. Right? Every single resolution may not be serious, right? Every resolution, every single thing may not, but there are some things that we have been saying year after year. I'm going to do better with this. I remember as a mom, I'm about to be real transparent. Okay. So I wish I had some tea. I would sip some tea right now, but I'm about to be real transparent. I would say every January, I'm not going to yell this year. I'm not going to yell at anybody. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to be the calm mom. That's how I'm going to be known. Debbie, the calm mom, not yelling. Will you please go sit down? I mean, literally in moments. And I had to realize it's not just about saying it. It's not. I had to put something in place. Hey, Annette. Annette says, hey, sweetie, it's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see you too. And Jackie Golden is in the house. The Jackie Golden. Stephanie says, you always inspire me to follow through with your topics, Deb. Wow. Oh, Stephanie, I so appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But I want to show up in a way as the person or with the message that I so needed as a young mom. There were so many things that I stumbled through because I just didn't know. And I didn't know where to find the info. Did the best I could, found some wonderful moms in community. I had some, wives that had been married 30 or 40 years as a newlywed. I had moms who had kids 10 and 12 years older than me that all supported and helped me as I, was in each of those journeys. And now in starting a new business, I've got a coach that is amazing and a community of women that are irreplaceable. But I just want you to really be thinking about what's going to make this year different. And it's not about the resolution. And I love vision boards, but seriously, it's not even really about the vision board. It's really about what is the sustained change and shift that you're ready to make in your life. I remember being one of my sons, I'm not going to say which one, but for those of y'all that know my children, you'll know which one, so I don't even have to out him. But one of my sons was not interested in being potty trained. Not interested. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Was not interested in being potty trained. We were at church one Sunday, our 3rd trip to the bathroom. I knew he had to go because he drank like a ton of juice before we got to church. So I'm trying to get this done before the message starts. I don't want to be the one pulling your kid out in the middle of the pastor preaching. And he was just like, nope, not happening. I'm good. And so there was a mom there that saw this kind of back and forth thing going on with him and I. Her sons were probably 10 years older than mine. I think she had 3 boys. She pulled me aside and she said, this has now become a power struggle. He's not doing it because he knows you want him to. He's 3 at this point. He's 3. She says, back off completely. Don't even mention the potty for the next week. Don't mention it. Don't say anything about it. Don't make him go. Don't push him to go. And I'm like, are you serious right now? She's like, he's not going to graduate high school with a diaper on. Okay, that's not going to happen. So calm down. Take the stress off the situation. Take the stress off you. Just don't talk about it. That next Sunday, I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. That next Sunday, I hunt her down in church. He is fully potty trained. Fully potty trained. By day number 3, this happened on a Sunday, by Wednesday morning, I hadn't mentioned it. I hadn't said a thing about potty training from Sunday to Wednesday. He wakes up Wednesday morning and wakes up and goes right to the potty and has been potty trained ever since. So, but I didn't know that. My other 2 children were very easy to potty train. I didn't know what I didn't know. I thought I had to push harder. I thought, to get him to do what I wanted him to do, I just needed to make sure he knew I was the mama and this is how we're doing and this is the potty schedule. But a mother older than I, not a lot older, but her kids were older. She had been through that already, was able to pull me aside and say, girl, it's not that deep. He is not going to be 25 and not potty trained. This is going to happen. Not today. It's going to happen. And so having women like that to speak into your life, wherever you are, whatever part of the journey that you're on, whatever it is that you need, I'm telling you, it is worth everything. So the 3 things that had to change for me, I had to change my mind. I had to get a mentor or a coach, and I had to get in community with like-minded people. That has been my story, no matter what stage of motherhood, womanhood, wifehood, wherever I am, that has been important. Because if it's going to be different, there's got to be something different I do. I have to show up differently. So I want to ask you, what is it? What is the thing that you said this year is going to be different? I'm not doing that the same way. I can't do it like that anymore. Stephanie says, and because you listened, it changed your situation. Absolutely, Stephanie. That's the other piece, right? That's the other piece. If you're going to give people permission to speak into your life in this way, you got to listen, which means you got to zip that and open these. I heard someone say once, there's a reason God gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears, because we should be listening twice as much as we're talking. Hello, somebody. Woo! That's a word right there. That's a word. That's a word right there. Listen twice as much as you talk. And so I want you to really think about how to take the things that you're going to do differently this year, the things, all of the dreams and goals and desires, all of the vision, all of the resolution, all of the wonderful things that you want into your life this year. I really want you to back off of the excitement of all that and really figure out the action plan to get it there. And check in every month. Every month, do what I talked about at the top of this segment. Every month, write at the top of the list all the stuff that you said you wanted to do and accomplish and have. Draw a line down the middle of the page. On one side, put the stuff that you're still doing. On the other side, put the stuff that you've stopped doing, and come up with an action plan to make that happen. Do it every month. Don't let it get to March or April and you're like, huh, what? Dang, that fell off that fast. All right, and I'm gonna check in with y'all. So I'm gonna check in from time to time and say, how we doing? How we doing with the action plan? And I would love for y'all to pop in on here from time to time, leave me a video, leave, something to let us know how that's going. A couple of things going on with Mom's Mentoring Circle that I'm super excited about, and I wanna share with you all. If you have not followed me over on Instagram, please do, because we're gonna start next week doing Monday Mom Myths. And I gotta thank my son Jojo for this one. Jojo is like my biggest cheerleader. He's amazing. Monday Mom Myths. We're gonna talk about things that are myths, from, whether it's something you heard, something you thought you read, but we're gonna talk about some of the myths of being a mom, and we're gonna replace it with what is the truth around that. Because there's always a bit of truth in these wives' tales and in these myths that we hear. There's always a bit of truth. So we're gonna start doing that over on Instagram on Monday evenings, probably somewhere around 6 o'clock. And I'll probably put it in my stories, so it'll be up there at least for 24 hours. And I may save it into highlights, but we'll see. Y'all hear me with all my lingo, all my IG lingo? And then the other thing I'm gonna put up here later this afternoon, I had the pleasure of doing a segment, a Virginia morning new show about apps for moms in 2020. You know, we got apps for everything. But really, y'all, there are 3 apps that I am in love with for moms. It is a way to streamline some things. It's a way to have everything in one place. Here's the thing. I was a list keeper. I still am a list keeper. But what I realized now looking back as a mom, I was the only one that had the list. No one else had the list. So even though I had the list, I would have to remind everybody, well, you know, you got to do this. You know, you got to do this. Y'all, there are some apps out there. Change the game. So I'm going to put that segment up this afternoon. I'd love for you to watch it. I'd love for you to comment on it. And that's what we got going on. A couple more things in the works. I'll keep you posted on how some of those things are gonna be panning out later. But I want you to really think about and really sit down and start writing out your action plan. You know I'm here to support you. You know I'm here. I would love to be able to support you in some way. Send me a message and let me know if I can do that for you, and we'll make it happen. So you guys have a great day. It's 12:30. You still have your whole day ahead of you. Enjoy it. It's cold here in the DC area. We had a little bit of snow, but you guys enjoy your day, and I will be back in to check and see for any more comments. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I've missed you. Happy to be back. Bye.